All right, test, test, test. 1, 2. How are you guys doing? Let me get this going. All right. Like that. I'm trying to move the chat a little up here to the left and try to somewhat make it transparent. So let me know how that looks to you guys in the chat. But welcome to the weekly Well Watch. This is Bitcoin's Ledge Fight or Flight episode. We do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to cover a bunch of news with the crypto industry, TradeFi, looking at what the whales are up to, and then trying to give an edge on what we think the markets are going to do based on the probabilities of looking at kind of the rainbow theory stuff. And at any point, you want to figure out how to transform your charts, you need to be a client of Rainbow Trends. So by all means, go check us out at rainbowtrends.com and go read about all the stuff here. I could talk about it for hours. It's literally over 10,000 lines of code. So we go kind of fast in the streams. So I wanted to just preface it with that. But we got a lot of stuff here. We have a Wikipedia. You can read all about it there. Or shoot me a DM if you have a question. But we are going to start this off. You guys cannot hear the music, which is good. But I need to turn up this audio for the intro video, because that's where we're at. But let me know in the chat. Does everything sound okay? Everything looking good? We've got X online and we've got YouTube online. It looks like it's going good. We got Sean going. What's up, Sean? Dude, that's some good music. That's Body of Light. That's one of my clients. They're awesome. And hoping to see them this year. But we're going to start this off with this video, and I'm going to make sure the audio is not too bad. So I got to show you guys this. So this has absolutely nothing to do with the industry. You know what? Rainbow Trends supports dog shelters. So we donate to dog shelters throughout the year as kind of our advertisement campaign, because ads don't tend to work with Rainbow tools. As you know, you have to do word of mouth with this stuff because we've been around forever. But it's all about word of mouth because this stuff actually helps out our dudes. And we support our local pounds, do food donations. So maybe we'll assume these are mutts, and I just wanted to open with this because this is absolutely fantastic. So this dog's name is Malik. He was caught on camera busting a hole through the wall, and he really felt bad about it, which actually helps this case. And I showed this to my wife, and she just died laughing. What's up, Jared? Oh, no. The dog knows he's in trouble. The other dog knows that dog's in trouble, too. Anyway, sorry, we're moving on. We're here to talk about finances, right? But as a reminder, the stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. Even if you were to mistake this for financial advice, come on now. It's not the case, obviously. All right, so let me kill that music just so I can hear it. All right, so this is kind of the summary I'm at, and I just started the music. I need to bring the audio back up. This is kind of the sentiment. I normally don't talk about BTC dominance, but by God, we're going to talk about it today. Because Pix is dealing with some stuff. He's a little offline, and he's normally my read of the BTC dominance. But in reality, Bitcoin's at all-time highs, and our group chat is in the altcoins right now. That's all the group chat wants to talk about. That's all the Discords want to talk about. We don't want to talk about longing Bitcoin. Everybody wants to talk about longing alts, and this is the feel. This is the vibe.
Crypto! Hey, ask me how I'm doing. Ask me how I'm doing. Go ahead. Ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing better than ever right now, while I know that my boss has basically extorted and blackmailed and launched a freaking coup. Crypto!
So yeah, shout out BitBoy. He would have loved to have seen these all-time highs, but I believe he's still in jail without bond. We'll see. Big thing this week. Big thing this week is the Bitcoin conference, and as is tradition, most people consider these conferences bearish, because typically Bitcoin doesn't do too much when all the whales are at the conference, right? But this is actually a pretty cool thing to bring up. We actually have Ross speaking at the actual Bitcoin conference, out of jail in a suit, looking great. So shout out Ross, because dude, if you go look at the backstory of how this dude got a pardon. his mom never quit trying to get her son out of prison. That's one of the coolest things ever. So shout out Tom Crown, because I'm going to show a few things with Tom today. Another cool thing about the crypto conferences, if you don't remember, one of Dime's most cherished things is a letter that he sent to Ross when he was in jail. I'm sorry, the other way around. Ross actually sent Ross actually sent Dime a letter while he was in jail, and Dime is cherished it for a very, very long time, and he's had it. And he's actually at the conference, may or may not be a really tall blonde dude running around. He asked Real Ross to actually see if he could sign it, and lo and behold, cracked the seal of that case, got it open, and got the incarcerated Ross signature and the free Ross signature. So it was really cool. So congrats, Dime. You have a grail now. But moving on. If you see Dime, give him a big hug. If you see Tom Crown, give him a big hug. Taproot Wizard parties as well. This was awesome. The Taproot Wizards always seems to have the best party. Yes, words are very hard. I'm very tired, if you guys can't tell. I basically have not slept in the past 5 days. An offshore pod project that I'm supporting in South America has been delayed for over a year. I'm finally offshore, and I'm dealing with unbelievable amount of issues. And as you can imagine, parts and engineering are hard to get in South America, so we have been on the phone nonstop getting these guys fixed. And please knock on some wood. I should be in the clear by tomorrow, and then it should be smooth sailing the rest of the campaign. But pushing some stuff that's never been done before is always hard. When you're everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face, is a good way to put it, because the hydrostatic pressures that we're dealing with at 5,000 feet deep are breaking a lot of things that we're working on. But moving on, you guys aren't here to talk about engineering. Yeah, like I said, you run into these dudes, go give them a big hug, tell them Runner said hi. Big fan of Tom Crown. It's crazy. There's probably all these like non-doxed OGs running around, and you just don't know it. You just don't know it, but it's got to be a cool place. Anyway, moving on. So we've had a ton of crazy news the past 24 hours, but since these streams are once a week, I try to go off about a week's worth of like highlights and news sources that I see throughout the week, and try to show you guys what's some good things, what's some bad things, what are some things that kind of didn't get enough attention, some things that I think got too much attention, because believe it or not, news matters as much as we just want to rely on like crypto and what the stocks are doing and like solely the charts. This type of stuff actually matters. I know there's some people that only care about the technicals. They don't care about what the world's doing. It's a little bit of both in reality, and you guys always need to keep in mind of that. Like, trust me, like if someone drops a bomb that starts splitting atoms, so I don't get banned from Twitch again or whatever with keywords, you got to be really careful, because like that does affect markets. I don't care what your hidden bull div on the 38-second chart says, right? So back to why we're covering this. Bitcoin's ledge, fight or flight. The truth is, Bitcoin dominance matters. And I hope this chart is a little clearer with the rainbow tools, right? If we're just looking at this as is, ignore all those. You kind of see a bottom and you kind of see a channel walk. We throw this up there and we actually start getting some pivot signals, which are really key. And this is really high time frame. But the thing you guys need to go and remember, and also what this kind of shows, I'm realizing you guys can't see the chat. Let me fix that real quick, because I can change the blending mode to normal. There we go. All right. And let me move that thing. I was playing with trying to make this chat a little better, but I'm going to put it back old school. We'll lock it there. Cool. Anyway, if you guys haven't known, everybody keeps wanting alt season. It hasn't happened. This is January 2023. Welcome to 2025, guys. If you can't tell, Bitcoin is still telling everyone who the freaking king is. Even though it's over six figures, people don't want to look at Bitcoin or anything like that. Truth is, this is the thing that's making the markets. And it's a weird one. Like Bitcoin's crushing all-time highs. Not many alts are. Your Solana's not an all-time high. Your Litecoin's not an all-time high. Your ADA, your XRP, your EOS, your Ethereum Classic, your Bitcoin Cash, your Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond. I'm just being facetious there, but it's a lot of alts that just aren't doing anything. And people keep wanting alt season, which is fair. It really is. And that's the thing is like every cycle we've seen it. Massive alt seasons, and we just haven't seen it. And right now Bitcoin's at a really, really interesting point in the charts. We have a lot of flows coming into Bitcoin on the ETFs, a ton of them. But if you've noticed, this is heavily one-sided. It used to be a little spread across the board with like Fidelity and IBIT, BlackRock, IE being the main dominance here, like really crushing everyone else. Because truth be told, the ARK one like never brought much in anyway, or even like the Invesco. But in general, right now, like Fidelity's not really doing much, and then BlackRock's going ape. So it's a weird turn. Carpe Noctem brought this up, and I thought it was interesting because it's like, yeah, ETF flows look good, but if you ignore this column, they're kind of not. And it's a weird data. This is the first run we've had with like ETFs, so we're having to gauge that per se, which is interesting, right? So I don't know what to make of it, but it's something. It's heavily loading on IBIT. It's not heavily loading on Fidelity anymore. BlackRock's not bleeding anymore. We used to track the BlackRock bleed out. It's really not doing too much. It's still going to bleed, and they still have a bunch of Bitcoin, but it's kind of leveling out. And it's an interesting take because if you look at this, and mind you, this is a hell of a chart because this thing took a long time to form and for us to figure this out because this is not a standard chart. This is not your textbook anything. We flat out broke through this one. This one was a weird double creek, massive high time frame, Wyckoff setup with 2 creek jumps. This one kind of formed a range where we had a high and a low, and then it started to crush down. Looked like it was going to go all the way to retesting the old order blocks of the old range. There's a screenshot of the old one. I don't want to cover this anymore because we covered it for like damn near a year. But it formed a messy channel walk, and then we finally broke the channel walk. And shout out to the dudes who were on top of this in the Discord posting this up, because I can tell you for sure, nobody down here was like proudly longing. And we were sitting there looking at it and like, there's an order block forming and it's sliding out of this channel walk. And we identified like it's go time. And we got our confirmation when Wellprint showed up, which is super sweet because Wellprint's hit hard. And there were so many people that were saying it was over, right? Rainbow dudes in the Discord were ahead of that. So I'm really proud of that because that took a lot of stones emotionally as well as a lot of TA. So we had the OGs really kicking it in the Discord as well as some of the new dudes like posting a lot of alpha. Because you'll notice I'm real high time frame the way I swing trade because I engineer and all damn day in offshore in the oil field, and then I'm also a dad, so I have to do the double life, and I also do coding and run all this other stuff. So I don't scalp, I do big macro swings, and then the other OGs in the Discord are typically smaller time frame. So shout out to those dudes. But we saw the channel walk break, we crushed through it, and we're like, hey, this is likely a bottom. It's a weird bottom, but it's likely a bottom because it's broken macro structure. We got above the support order block, which was very interesting because we spent no time going through this. 9 times out of 10, when we come back and hit these massive order blocks, they bounce and they go for a while. And this one didn't. We went straight through the damn thing, and then once we broke this, we're like, it's over. Go. We're going for the all-time high resistance order block, which is right here. Let me zoom out. Right there. And that's what we were dealing with. And now we've printed a new all-time high, and we're rolling over a little bit. So we're retesting. So what does like Rainbow Theory 101 say? If you don't know what Rainbow Theory is, it's kind of a hybrid of Wyckoff as well as like quantitative stuff, looking at whales, and also a bunch of alpha and stuff we found along the way these past 5 or 7 years. 17. Shoot, it's 8 years now. It's crazy. Anyway, time flies. There's times where the odds are way in your favor to give you accuracy. There's times when they're not. And right now, we're getting into the area where colors are fading, and we're going back into the middle of the bell curve where the whales can chill and hang out and kind of hide their motives. What is up, Nexus? What's up, Jared? Mim? Dude's in the YouTube. If you're on Twitter, hop over to YouTube. You can actually chat in the YouTube. Twitter's chat does not work. When I say we're rolling over, it's so Rainbow Theory 101. I buy dips. I'm calm as a cucumber by buying the nastiest dips, because I know when I get the most extreme impulses, the odds are in my favor that we're going to get like a 90% bounce, odds that it's going to bounce. So I can get in, expose, and not sweat when everyone else is panicking. When you start getting into this mid-range stuff, you start getting candles that aren't very extreme and there's not a lot of volatility. When we're just grinding greens and reds, it's kind of the signals aren't so great unless you get like a structure setup, right? Your RSI fades, your candles fade, you're not getting a lot of well prints, that type of stuff. It's hard to kind of watch it. This is starting to fade out color-wise, right into the all-time high order blocks, and it hit an all-time high here. And that's why I labeled this like Bitcoin's ledge. This is where you take profit and you chill the F out. If you're spot, chill spot. If you're leverage, definitely unleverage. We can chill here and we wait, and we have to be boring. As awesome as these Bitcoin conferences are, we have to be boring, because I got to show you this. This is real reminiscent of, where is she? Right here. It's not the same at all, but it's an example I want to show you guys, because we were one of the only ones to spot this with freaking cut rainbows. So it was awesome when we caught it. This was the big capitulation, going into the macro bottom. This is Bitcoin at $20,000, right? That thing right there baited everyone on crypto Twitter. And everybody said, higher high. It's higher than this. So here's your high. There was another high. And then there was even higher highs. And everybody got long here. Long. And then the whales proceeded to rip it all the way back down. Big old creek, right? Now, I don't think we're forming a creek here. I don't. But I have to tell myself, what are the tools telling me? What is the algo? The algos are unbiased, right? They just show you the odds. I see an order block with a higher high with faded colors, right? And that's where we're at now. It's not a bearish look. It's just I need to be cognizant that I could do a down draw, right? Something like this. You come back up, you roll over. Right now, I got to be really skittish if this thing nukes, because if it does, we're looking at a highly likely retest here, or God, maybe worse. I don't want to say that, but we'll clip that out, right? What's up, Phil? But at the same time, these resistance order blocks, they're hard to get through, right? So I'm telling you to be boring. Bitcoin's about to try to break through, and it's only going to do one of two things. It's either going to struggle through here and pop, or it's going to struggle through here and fade. That's it. And I know that's a boring thing to say on stream, but welcome to reality. When no one wanted to long this is when it was time to get long. Now that it's back up to all-time highs and people want to long it, now it's time to be boring. You got to flip it around, right? So that's where we're at. And right now, if you're betting on Bitcoin conferences typically don't print new all-time highs, so we'll see. A sentiment check on this, a good one. Scarberry Noctum, go look at his recent streams this week. He's got some really similar sentiment. I'll cover this. Apparently, they picked Netflix is going to be doing an FTX movie, and that's going to be your SBF, and that's going to be your Caroline. So that's going to be great. Can't wait. But that's where we're at with it. So give me 1 second. Someone's messaging me. I guess not. Hold on. Anyway, Sorry, I'm checking with the rig right now. If you guys don't know, with the power of the satellite internet, we have group chats. Imagine Discord with ROVs and subsea engineers. But anyway, that's going to be her, and that's going to be SPF. I'm sure it's going to be wild. I don't know. I really want to know who... Man, that's the whole Alameda... The whole Alameda gang's got to get... Alameda Research. Let me see. Organization. You got a lot of people to cast for this. Like, who's going to be Sam Trabucco? Who's going to be... Well, we know who's going to be Caroline, but like Trabucco, all these other dudes, Wang, all these dudes. Plus the rats, plus the lawyers. Ryan Salami is another one. Anyway, but back to sentiment, and kind of a friendly reminder, and this is somewhat out of order. You guys have to remember, no one knows anything. So as much as I love telling you guys what I think price is actually going to do and what the odds are in our favor, you'll never see me do like crystal ball stuff, except for like Mayor multiple projections. But saying, hey, next 2 years, BTC is going to be here. Next 3 years, da 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 da. I hate that type of stuff because that's really diddling in the middle and just guessing. But you can kind of guess what's possible, but that type of stuff is not. And I really like blunts, and I think Cole's hilarious. But it's just, this is a friendly reminder. There's a lot of people calling for very, very specific things, and we're getting into the end times of this Bitcoin bull run. We don't have much time left. So like if we hit 200K and people are calling for 3 and you round trip it, like you got to be careful listening to all these dudes on Twitter, because just remember, no one knows anything. Trust yourself. Trust your very few OGs. Learn how to read them, because you have to remember something. Saylor buys the bottoms. Saylor also buys the tops, and he's buying more Bitcoin as usual going into the conference. And this dude owns like, 2.3% of all Bitcoin. But this dude will buy the Pico tops of the macro cycles as well. So as bullish as you want to be on MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor doesn't know everything. Just keep in mind. And remember, that dude can just buy Bitcoin the rest of his life. That's the plan. And speaking of like Saylor buying tops, we have to be really careful here. This is the American BTC group we had at the conference. And this is a little scary. The dude who's trying to have forever longevity, all the Trump kids, the Winklevoss twins would scare me bad. But apparently people are more scared about Steve Aoki, which is, I don't know why that's so concerning. I don't know Steve too much, but maybe you need a good DJ. But frankly, the Gemini guys are more concerning to me, as well as maybe this Trump team who's like bought Ethereum and then dumped it lower aren't maybe the best financial advisors. Maybe. Like, why isn't Ross in this picture? Like, I don't know. I think we got our, like when I saw the flyer for the Bitcoin conference, I'm like, why is Ross not the biggest picture at the top? But they had JD Vance, and I'm like, I'm more impressed with Ross than Vance. So anyway, but like I said, remember, nobody knows anything. Bitcoin's on a plateau, and we're going to talk about both directions. Because if this thing rips, we're going. Like we are going into hardcore price discovery, going into Q3, going into Q4. We are setting up for the macro bull run we've been dreaming of. But at the same time, all these, and this is the bear case, at the same time, people are trying to print a top. And I'm telling you, I loved this tweet. F performs from here on out. It's 21 cows. I believe this was for Steak and Shake. So, I'm telling you, in hindsight, like from a year from now, you're going to see that what may have been the Pico top the minute they had dancing cows. This was actually not a Chick-fil-A ad, believe it or not. So, I don't know. Where do you even hire people for this? Because I don't know if you could. Maybe you could find 21 Bitcoiners who would. You maybe probably could. I don't know. Would you do this? I don't know. I'd walk around in a cow outfit, but obviously my PFP is a freaking rainbow cow. But dancing on the sign, that I'm telling you, there's a non-zero chance this stuff physically prints macro top. So you have to be careful. Phil, conferences typically dump. Not macro, but they typically pull back. But anyway, the point is, K-Money. Eth performs from here on out. Love the tweet. And now we got to transition to number 2. Bitcoin's kind of at a weird spot, right? We're right at an edge. The colors are fading. We're waiting for the move. I actually want to know. I kind of want to know what stake Toshi is now, to be honest with you. We'll look at that later. FBTC. So back to the thing. Alts are not doing so hot. Like I said, Bitcoin's all-time high. Ethereum's nowhere near an all-time high. And a lot of these alts are just kind of pumping and dumping and then going through like massive like 50, 80% retraces. And I'm not talking like this week, but I'm talking like over the past like month or two. It's getting pretty crazy. But one thing is standing out. Notice the FBTC chart has been down for a very, very long time. That's all the way back to 2023, right? It has finally woken up. Finally. Now, the alt season we have seen with this bull run has been weird. A while back, when out the gate, Bitcoin didn't roll into Ethereum. Bitcoin rolled into Solana, and then it rolled into like meme coins, like WIF, new meme coins, not old school meme coins, not Doge, not Shiv. It moved into like WIF and all this other stuff. And it kind of was weird because ETH ran after Sol, which isn't per the normal playbook, but welcome to 2025 where the points don't matter and the rules are made up. We printed an all-time high before the last halving, which has never been done before. Never been done before. So keep that in mind. And right now, maybe we're going back to the original playbook. BTC dominance is still crushing alts across the board, but Ethereum is showing strength. This week in particular, I have not seen Ethereum hold price while Bitcoin pulls back. And this week we've seen it. And it's been kind of interesting. Hold on, that's the right chart. No, it's FBTC. Sorry, I need to go this one. Close that one and leave. There we go. So we've been covering this chart forever. We have our order blocks already covered. We've got pivots everywhere. But Ethereum has been doing a channel walk since December of 2024. We've been watching this pain print all the way down to this old school order block. It goes way back. And anyway, and we finally broke channel walks. And you know Runner loves channel walks. It's such an amazing pattern that I don't know why more people don't play these, because they're really easy and you don't necessarily need all these tools to catch them, but for some reason the rainbow dudes tend to catch these more. But volume showing up, we broke through, bam, whale prints galore, and we slammed all the way into the mid-range resistance order block, and now we're trying to get through this bad boy. A lot of people are saying we've broken out, and I got super excited when we printed a slightly higher high here. We still were keeping blues. I want to see a follow-through, but the one thing I want to notice, Bitcoin was kind of doing this while Ethereum was doing that. And we haven't seen that in a very long time. And that's something to take note of, because it's an outlier. And we have to watch the outliers to see what forms a trend. If the trend keeps going, that's a really good sign, right? So we want to follow this and see where it goes. Because with a channel walk that damn long, support here, mid-range, if we break this resistance order block, I am forecasting we're going to hit that. Will we get through the notorious 4,000 order block, which has held us down 3 times since March of 2024? I have no idea. It's not even the all-time high order block. It's just we have not been able to break 4,100 for a very long time. And it's weird because Bitcoin's doubled, tripled price since these were hit, and we're nowhere near. Now, is Bitcoin is this going to outrun Bitcoin? I have no idea. But I do know the odds are if we get through this order block, we're probably going to test. The whales are probably going to go here. That's the bet. So quick reminder, we do these streams for free. So if you could like, comment, subscribe, even the dudes on Twitter, please drop a comment. It helps a lot with the interactions, or retweet the stream. YouTubers, do your thing. Tell your friends, get in here. It's time to talk. So the other thing I've noticed here, this is kind of a doppel read. The hairline is angled on this BART. It's definitely a BART. 100% it's a BART setup, and it's at resistance. So I'm so kind of scared. If you want to do Rainbow Theory 101, you hedge here and you wait. It's likely going to retrace. But we're in the time of the market where Bitcoin tends to go parabolic into the last run. So my gut's telling me I think we're going to get this. But if we don't, it's an easy stop loss, right? It's pick a spot. It's your hairline's here. So anyway. What's up, Caleb? Fletch, my guy. Doppel is off and on Twitter. He's focusing on life. I DM him a lot still, though. We chat. Good dude. Big fan. So Bitcoin's right at a major resistance, just a little recap, but it's about to go to all-time high. Ethereum is at this major mid-range resistance order block. I normally do mid-ranges in orange. What's up, Vulture? Much love. Yeah, you guys have no idea how much back-end YouTube actually monitors the chat rate. Like, if you guys are actually chatting, it like promotes the stream more. It's ridiculous. You'll never see me doing the PFPs with like an open mouth pointing with all these crazy explosions in the background. What's Bitcoin gonna do next? Da, 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 da. It's just not my vibe. Not my vibe. We're gonna try to keep this stream low key chill, right? Low key, small, keep it family oriented. But anyway, Bitcoin's real easy. It's either about to go into alt price discovery, and we've developed a new floor where your floor is $110,000. God knows where that goes. Or all this stuff turns over on resistance, right? I'm hoping to God it's time. I want it to be time. We shall see. We shall see. I can't tell you guys. Rainbow Theory doesn't work like this. Everyone who tells you what it's going to do next when you get into these resistance and shit, they're full of it. The back testing is not there. We take all this back testing stuff. I can tell you where the odds are that we're going to turn. Right now, we're in like a mid-range. You don't diddle in the middle is what a lot of people say. Maybe that's not appropriate with the Diddy allegations, but I say allegations. He did that shit. This is where you've got to be chill, right? So anyway, easily the shortest Earth. If F pumps, everything dies. We'll see. Now, on the good news, U.S. Securities has dismissed the lawsuits against Binance. And my first question is, which Binance? They tried. Well, I say they tried. Bitcoin. Binance US is pretty much dead in my opinion, but I don't know. Assuming it's the real, but who cares? It's BNB. They dropped it. It's awesome. And our beloved leader, CZ, drops this. Still salty, I'm sure. So, shout out CZ. Love it. So, what are you going to do, right? Like, have fun. Life's short. We only get so many laps around this sun. So, anyway, I looked at the news. Typically, like an old-fashioned news like that, when you actually got Binance news that was important. And SEC dropping a case, super bullish normally, but it's done nothing, which is weird. This is another outlier. Alts, smaller cap alts, and I say smaller cap because BNB is a huge one. You cannot tell BNB got an SEC case dropped here. You can't. So, it's a weird one. Like, this should be news dependent, but it's not. Like, gun to my head, them arresting CZ definitely changed price, right? So keep that in mind. But anyway, moving on. We're going to switch it over to Tesla real quick. So Elon has decided to give up on trying to make the government more efficient, and now he is back to work trying to get the hell off this planet. Tesla stocks have rebounded. So shout out to all the dudes who have been trading this. I've been walking this trade through since January. I've been talking about this setup. You can go check all the streams. What is up, RJ? We documented this to a T, and we predicted a band to band, and we got it. We absolutely got it. We got white candles to pink candles. We got the full home run on this. And we walked the rainbow traders through it. And we had OGs in the Discord that didn't need my help at all. But this is a great way for me to teach you guys live trades as they play out. 90% of the people on Twitter that like post clout and stuff like that, they come back and hit you with like hindsight setups. Like, oh my God, you didn't notice this Wyckoff setup or this Elliott wave. It's so simple, idiot. No, this stuff's not simple. Because if you go check that stuff, 90% of the time, those dudes are posting stuff in hindsight and didn't talk about those trades when they were live. We walked through this one. We saw the white candles. We said, the bottom's coming. We have to wait for this to hit. We got our first rainbow reversion candle at 233. We got an HMA cross at 246. If I turn on the bottom signals, the actual band bottoms, that one was 246. And we got a retest here. So in general, you're gonna say, hey, no one skips the bottom. No one micro scalps the bottom. If you do, it's luck. We'll just call it mid range. Multiple rainbow theories saying, hey, that's a bottom. Click, and we'll just do the bottom of the band. That is a 31% trade on spot. If you actually go up to the rainbow reversions up here or the HMA cross, you're talking about 40%. The overall move was 67. So congratulations. And I'm going to toot my own little horn here. This is Rainbow Theory 101. Go check all the videos if you want to see it. If you think this stuff's stupid or doesn't work. Because Tesla whales do the same damn thing every time. Every time. They nuke it, print a bunch of white candles into this reversion band. They reverse, and they go all the way to the other band. This one was 113%. Bottom print here, band put here, touch, 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 touch. It happens over and over and over. And I'm very happy we walked through this one successfully. Rainbow Theory 101, actual live trade setup. Proven. We're going to close the book on this one. It may go higher. It may go up to like 420 or something like that. But you noticed me talking about earlier, like we don't mess in the probabilities area. Right? Draw your bell curve, right? Rainbow Theory hangs out here. When things are out of whack, that's when the whales really get active, right? When it's in the mid-range, that's when people FOMO and they lose. Right? We're not losers. We're going to swim with the whales. We're not going to let their games fight us, right? That's the left side of the bell curve. That's your bearish side. That's your right side bullish, right? The rest is kind of BS, right? So just keep in mind, because everybody wants to long Tesla now at 252, or 352. 250 was the answer. So shout out to that. Just wanted to show you guys. I have to toot my own horn at some point. I always feel completely biased because people are like, "Oh, does this rainbow stuff work?" I'm like, "Yes, it works very well." But I'm very biased because I wrote it, right? But that's proof in the pudding. Go look at the dudes who've been with me for over 5 years. There's a reason they stick with the tools, because this stuff looks goofy, but it's designed to pay and make you more successful. So my bearish case for Tesla, not too much, but the fact is Gemini was mining Bitcoin with a plugged-in Tesla, which is like the most non-efficient thing ever. Because by the time you take the transformer, run across long-distance power lines, you convert it back to DC to charge the batteries of the Tesla with an inverter, and then plug this thing in running DC. It's not efficient, but they can do it, so shout out to them. I just get skittish when I see stuff like that, but it is kind of cool to see an orange Cybertruck. Not gonna lie. So, moving on. UNH, this is one that's live too. This one has not gone band to band yet, but Rainbow Theory is in play on UNH. Now remember, this is the one that got accused of fraud, as well as had the CEO shot in broad daylight. I don't endorse that at all. But this was one of those trades where it's like, it's either going to zero or it's not. And it's going to rebound like crazy. We've looked at this before, but like this is prices go back to here. That is 2018. 7 years of price action gone. This is like one of the deepest cuts you'll ever see on a TradeFi market. And this is a big company. And we got a ton of signals. That right there was telling. That is a gigantic buy. Whales stepping in saying, that's enough. I want some, and I don't care if anybody sees me buying it. Because we spotted them buying it. Price is down. You see big-ass impulse. It's a tell. You get to see what the whales are doing live. Can't really see that on a normal volume indicator, but you can see it there. We had the HMA cross, and then we had the RSI finally die. And we're way inside the bands. Way inside the bands. We actually kind of almost touched the orange. RSI is pink. Candles are white. This is where you're on the bell curve side. You are like right here in probabilities that this bad boy is going to pop up, right? You're not in the middle. You're at the extreme ends. So the goal is we are going to touch that band there. That's the setup. That's the home run. We may not get it. Sometimes we fall short, and that band is moving, right? But I normally draw these horizontal because it's easier, but that's realistically what that tool is going to do. This band is going to come down with it, and we want to get our home run just by touching it. And if it touches it sooner, right, that's more percentages. If it grinds for a while, it's going to touch it over here. So it's like 390, but that's like 511. Pick your poison, right? The faster the recovery, the better the returns. But we're able to expose ourselves here with the rainbow theory and get an idea where it's going to go. So UNH, huge one. RSI rotations. I think we had some runner bottoms there too, but I'll keep going. Holy cow, we're 40 minutes into this. Another thing, Dan Ushman, a good friend of mine, CEO of TrendSpider. Love this dude to death. He's freaking hilarious. Follow him. He actually woke up on the UNH trade as well, and he added to it. I think I got in around 262. He's been DCAing into it, and it's just interesting to see all he's hitting. He trades very differently than I do, but he picked up a ticker that I picked up, and I'm finding out about this later, so I thought it was pretty cool. So shout out Dan, shout out TrendSpider. We actually have an affiliate with them in the Rainbow Trends Discord. You get permanent discounts, the biggest discount ever offered in an affiliate program, because I don't make a penny. I gave it all back to the users. So definitely go check that out in the Discord. Until Dan, hi. We'll do it now. Covering this on stream right now. Hopefully one day we'll get Rainbow Trends on TrendSpider. That's the goal. Anyway, GE, another one. I've been trading this one for a while. I got in a really weird position. They had a forced split in the company for, I think it was a monopoly split, why they had to break up the department, but they broke off the aerospace division and kept it its own entity. And the charts had to be readjusted because it was like a 60-30 cut or something like that. Holy cow, we got like 20 people on YouTube. This is awesome numbers. Love you guys. And the charts got really weird because TradingView had to go back and like adjust the prices because it was like a 66% split is kind of like how the charts adjusted. I saw before they adjusted it, the price hit this side of the band, and I just bought a ton of it and said, F it. It's GE. I love their products. They also make a bunch of cool space and airplane and everything else. And then we went up into this like, this is where it gets real goofy. This is where we get into like this was the previous like all-time high like order block stuff, but then the prices adjusted. So like these levels don't exist anymore over here, but I kept them on my chart, and then lo and behold, the price started interacting with it with the whales. It's real weird. Real weird. So I got long like way down here when it all got messed up, and then I'm in a safe position, so I don't care. And then the damn thing started accumulation cylindering. New word, look it up. We just made that up, and it's now breaking out of the cylinder, and it's going into a freaking channel walk. So, I I personally have a runnerbot signal alert on this on like, I think 4 hour. Because look, those are the previous runnerbot tops. Those are the previous runnerbot bottoms. I'm waiting for that to print because this damn thing's pushing into the bands with a channel walk out of an accumulation cylinder. And if it does the crazy accumulation cylinder stuff, it's... So, I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I think I'm like 100% on this one. It took me a year, and I wasn't expecting it to go this high. To be honest, I bought the volatility, then the chart reset. So then my position, it just started grinding, and then my position got way safe, and it just kept performing. So I was like, whatever. I'm just going to let it ride. And now it's riding into something that's absolutely mental. So keep that in mind. So this is us chasing whales on GE with some rainbow theory setup. We bought a rainbow reversion here. The chart's repainted due to the split. Now it's accumulation cylindering. Now I'm locked into a channel walk, and I'm also waiting for a runnerbot top to print, right? So I'm waiting for this, and I'll probably exit because by that point I have a spot trade fi position that's over 100% return. So another example. This one's not right. That's UNH next. Another one was Nvidia. Nvidia beat again. Shocker. They always do, right? That's what it seems to be. Nvidia's been going sideways for a while, but if you've noticed, if you buy Nvidia inside this band, it tends to pop. It doesn't necessarily go all the way band to band, but because I consider this a failed home run. If that was the home run I was wanting, I would have wanted to touch that, but it ended up retracing and then it touched it. So I call that like you didn't get the full home run, but you got a big move and you get to take some of it with you, right? You're not going to snipe that bottom, but that's at least 43% to play with, right? You can get a little chunk of that, right? This one went band to band. This was the home run setup. Rainbow theory. We buy on the left side of the bell curve. Pop, pop. We sell on the right side. People are bearish here, we get long. People are bullish here, we sell. Or we hedge, right? We deleverage, we bring our stop losses up, we protect our butts. We get into position when it's nice and easy, and then we sell. And I say easy. It's really hard to do this, but it's how this stuff works. So anyway. What's up, Caleb? RJ? Another one, Apple. Now here's a failed one. Not a failed one. This one's still in play. I don't know what it's going to do. And I'm not a big Apple fan. I really don't like their products. But I do want their goggles, though, once they get super cheap because everyone's abandoning them. We did get a full bullish bell curve buy here. And it's popped. So the goal is when you buy these, at least to get a pop up in price action. So you can set your stop loss at like break even. And at that point, it's a free roll of dice. Right? You get a free trade. You get a little profit, put your stop loss at break even. You can't lose money. That is the way to go, right? And it's popped, but it's gone sideways. And now tariffs are messing with them and stuff like that. So it's only gone up like 26%. I say only. It's a nice little thing you could have played with. The HMA cross as well came in clutch here, as well as the RSI rotations. Your RSI faded, your HMA crossed it, you're inside the bands. That's the long signal right there. Your RSI actually quit print on that candle, and then the second or third candle after that is what crossed the HMA. Bang, bang, bang. Color rotations on the candles as well. So that's how you can get in. That's how you can protect yourself. And now there's only 20. We wanted this to touch up here, which is like a 40% move, but we only got half of that. So anyway. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's all rainbows, right? We're really fortunate we can see the colors we do. Anyway, moving on. Microsoft. Microsoft's a weird one. This one was real weird. Why? They came out with like the coolest quantum chip ever. They invented a new state of matter, and price went down. They then fired 10% of the company. Price goes up. Welcome to the markets where none of this, the rules are made up and the points don't matter. They literally cracked physics, made a new state of matter, And no, the market didn't care. One of the biggest jumps in quantum computing, which everyone's crazy about, because then they're like, oh, we plug in quantum computing, AI, you get ChatGPT 9.0, right? You can make more Ghibli memes. It's weird, dudes. It's fading, though. It almost got up to the reversion band, but the HMA's crossed, so the colors are rotating it. The earnings hit, but it just, I can't stand it when price goes up when they fire people. I hate it. Should I trade it? It's just, there's some stuff I just hate emotionally, so I'm not about that. So trust me, there's a lot of deals that have been offered to me on this course that I just don't like because of vibes, and I've said rejected. So I will not trade those intentionally because I'm not bullish on them firing people no matter what you do. What's up, Josh? So back to reality. So Trump got really pissed about the EU not coming to a deal. Shout out Aussie. And he got real pissed that it wasn't going anywhere. So he's like, F it, you guys are going to get a crazy 50% tariff. I don't give a shit. Then the EU kind of scrambled, and then he's like, all right, I'll extend the deadline. I'll be gracious. And like market's kind of pumped that, hey, he's going to be nice to the EU, right? Well, then a court judge came in and says, nah, president can't do tariffs. That's kind of like Congress's job, which is kind of how the Constitution's written. And then like an hour or two ago before the stream, in the appeals court, they said the tariffs are back on. So it's literally like that scene in The Office where Michael Scott's had like the vasectomy like 8 different times and had it reversed, and then all this other stuff. Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. The market wants guidance and they want clarity, and we're not getting it. And it really sucks because these tariffs spooked the all-time high S&P down 21%. And remember, Rainbow Theory, we went and looked. Where's the wall on that bell curve? And it was down here. And we're like, hey, it can't really get further than this, or otherwise it's legit going to zero. America's not going to be anything. We got about halfway there, full 21% correction. Not the craziest colored candles, but we did get some crazy RSI. Kind of got a broadening wedge and then popped out. Now it's gone sideways, and it's actually starting to fade colors and retest some of our support levels, these pivots here, these automated pivots. And now the market is going snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. They don't know what's going to go on with the tariffs, right? China's going to do a deal, then EU gets a 50% tariff. They're crazy tariffed. Tariffs are legal. Tariffs are illegal. Today, they were talking about trade negotiations are still going to move forward even though tariffs are illegal. And I was like, I cannot imagine what the other countries are doing at the negotiation tables with Besson or whatever his name is, and be like, well, sorry, you guys can't tariff, but guess what? All 110 countries of us, we can still tariff you. It gets really weird, but now they're back on. Needless to say, volatility is here. Say hello to volatility. What is up, Rifu? And now we're kind of where Bitcoin was. Like, is it time to reclaim this and we go to Valhalla? Or are we going to say, like, hey, this stuff's getting kind of goofy and we're going to pull back some more until we get closer to midterms where everybody has to start playing ball on the Republican Party? Otherwise, they're going to kill their midterm potentials because, shocker, polling-wise, Americans are not happy about tariffs. And I wish I had it, but one of the recent... they had one of the dudes who's pro-tariff in the administration, like, was in this huge crowd doing a speech, and like, have you guys felt tariff? No one's feeling tariffs. We're making all this money, blah, blah, blah. And someone from the crowd's like, no, price is going up. This is not cool, dude. And really sucked. So it's really not cool. Maybe there's a plan in place. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's 5D chess underwater skills. I don't know. Maybe it's ping pong. I really ping pong is pretty damn hard. Checkers, right? Needless to say, I'm in the bell curve here. We've made the recovery. What is up, Rifu? Which Rifu are you, by the way? I'm thinking, is it Rifu? Sorry, I have to look. I'm thinking of another refu. But anyway, welcome. Thank you. 5D chess is crazy. We're no longer here. Back down here, we were kind of like here on the bullish side, the counter trend, and then we got the pop a little bit easier. But now this is now we're in the risk off area, and we kind of have to observe. And I hate telling you guys this because this is where like I hate people telling you crystal ball stuff. We're in a really none of this is predictable. We haven't been here. We haven't had a president go off on tariffs like this in a modern economy. We've got a war going on with Russia and Ukraine. That was supposed to be ended according to like day one, but they're not having good terms. The talks, surprise, with Putin did not go well. And anyway, stuff's ratcheting up. Hopefully it comes to an end because people are like Germany's getting real tired of this shit. So, I say refu. Anyway, I'm thinking Fiji. Sorry. It's the other thing. People are getting tired of inflation, and the inflation genie is out of the bottle. Now companies are feeling comfortable to raise prices again, which is interesting because this was during the FOMC minutes, as several policymakers said that they are hearing from businesses who weren't subject to tariffs who might nevertheless opportunistically raise their prices if competitors did so as well. Which is true. If you're going to tariff the hell out of your competitors, why are you going to be the American-made one that's cheaper? So keep that in mind. Shout out true inflation. We don't really use this so much anymore, but taking a look at it, it's our inflation goal is 3%. We're at 2%. So we'll see if they pivot. The Fed tends to be pretty late, so we'll see. But we got to change it up a bit. We're going to S&P 500. We're going to go GameStop. GameStop DGen. Hey, there's Pep. Shout out Pep. Hi from the live stream. Come on and do an interview. We love the Pep. GameStop is we had Roaring Kitty, we had all the GME crazy stuff, and now we're going into GameStop is now becoming the next Tesla as far as strategically putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Because when you wanted to trade in your Nintendo 64 copy of GoldenEye for 2 cents, Bitcoin was actually on their horizon, whether you realized it or not. There's your Roaring Kitty chaos. Volume is a bit impulsy. Thanks, options. And today, on the news of the Bitcoin, they bought and then price hit the reversion bands. Shocker. We got a rainbow print. RSI hit white on pink candles, and then it proceeded to drop. Ignore the ticker. We like 9 times out of 10 take profit here like fully, and it's retraced like 20% in a day. Welcome to GME. I personally don't trade this. Jarman trades the hell out of this. I personally don't like charts where a single entity like Roaring Kitty can come in and tweet something really elusive, and then the price just goes ba-bing, 550%. That type of stuff scares me because I could have a theory where the general market's going in a single hand. A single whale flipper can come in and go, and we're going this way, and then you're toast. It's really hard to navigate that. Like, Roaring Kitty here, Bitcoin news here. Not so big, right? But remember, this was like options fueled like freaking crazy. So yeah, that's GameStop. Maybe this is their anticipated sales of like the Switch 2. I digress. I'm kidding. On a side note, Florida has proposed limiting state capital gains tax on BTC, XRP, and stocks. So I'm thinking beach house. I really like the beach. I do a lot of shark fishing from the beaches. I'm trying to learn how to surf. Hopefully, Vital teaches me this year. We shall see. I have a surfboard though, and that's actually a really cool looking beach. What beach? Well, I say what beach in Florida. You go to Alligator Point, it's not pretty, but most of Florida is pretty. But yeah, that's the goal. We get the state. We get the dream job here. 0 taxes, right? That'd be nice. Still probably got to pay federal, but it's kind of nice. Back to Dime. Dime is an OG I trust and I talk a lot with. Albeit 90% of our DMs are cat and joke related, but we do talk rainbow theory, whales, and options, and Bitcoin in general a lot. Bitcoin, I'm obviously a fan. He's got cool vibes. He's funny as hell. But he's shoving alpha in your face right now. A lot of it. Nobody wants to pay attention to this Bitcoin price after halving tracker. It's kind of like stock to flow, obviously. Go look it up. It's easy. He's really telling you something here. And he's telling you the same thing I'm telling you, is rainbow theory wise and all the stuff I look at, time's running out for this run. Time really is running out on this run. And that's a good thing. Don't be sad. What I don't want you guys to do is have the craziest run of your life in the next 3 months and then round trip that SOB. Even if some people only make 5 figures out of it, something like that, like it's a big chunk of change in your 20s to like set your life up, right? Do what you got to do. And what he's telling you is you got 100 to 150 days to max extract this bad boy. Now, before I go into this, I'm going to tell you the counter arguments. I don't think Bitcoin's as parabolic as it used to be. I think it moves slower. I think it's bigger and has more hands in it, and we have old school institutions in it now that act differently than before. I really haven't seen volatility like 2017 on Bitcoin in a long time. On the lows I have, but the highs I've not, right? Keep that in mind. So to counter argue this, it's already over. We're going to the bear market. The cows dancing at Bitcoin conference were the top. We're done. The counter argument here to say we're going to go longer than this, longer than the 150 days, is maybe ETF options and ETFs in general push this bad boys into a parabolic run that takes longer to bleed off. Maybe. We don't know this yet. No one does. No one's going to tell you the crystal ball. What we can tell you is the probabilities on this bell curve. The bell curve wins every single time. It's nature. I don't like fibs. I like bell curves. I'm sorry, Nexus. I'm not. I love Nexus. And you guys have seen my Mayor multiple tools. You guys have seen me talk about Mayor multiple forever. This is my barometer for where we are in a 4-year cycle. And I also plot timings. A lot of these line up with stock to flow. A lot of these are my own personal timings. And I had 2 windows. The wider window here from April 2025 to November, and I had a smaller, tighter one here from June to November, mid-November, right? Dime's talking about 547 days from the halving. Right? Was that right? Hold on. Yeah, halving of the last cycle. The halving is right here. April 24th? No, hold on. April 19th, it was like April 20th, 2024. Shout out. That was the last halving. 547 days is October 19th. So I'm saying you got till like October 19th to get this bad boy running. We'll see. You know me. I want to see the red band touch because every other single cycle has touched that thing. Maybe Bitcoin can't move as fast as it could and it can't touch it anymore. Maybe. But until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to keep telling you guys about it. But the truth be told is we're resetting here. And if we go into the parabolic run, you're looking like this in a very short period of time. Tag something, call it a day, 240K Bitcoin. Don't sleep on it, right? Get a real lazy trailing deviated EMA or something, or Williams fractal, or the cloud. When you get into this, the Carpe Noctem's clouds get really freaking useful. Shout out Josh. They really do. When you get into like extended bull trends, watch that damn cloud. Watch it. So that's what we're looking at. And this is where things can get crazy. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You are not going to want to sell that at all. You want to sell it like, you want to capitulate at 80. You need to capitulate up here. We're not there yet. But we might get there and we might not. Don't know. It's not financial advice. This is a freaking quantitative rainbow cow who's focused on subsea engineering. But that's what we're looking at, and I think this is playing out. But guys, I've been telling you about this since we were down here, and we were buying the stuff up. Now we're trying to get till we get to the high. And remember, we almost hit it there back on that original like 60, 65K or whatever, 72. Almost hit it there. So anyway, let me check up on chat real quick. Shout out to all the YouTubers. Click retweet, like, subscribe. We do this for free. Can you please take a look at Telecoin? Yes. Charts aren't even real, brother. Yes. Especially two-dimensional charts, Nexus. ETF plus rate cuts, let's go. That's, Caleb, that's actually a good point too. What happens if we get to Q3, Q4, and Jerome starts cutting? I don't know. Maybe we hit the 400. And that's the other thing. We have to see if it maybe the money that's in BlackRock from Bitcoin ETFs rolls into TradeFi and leaves Bitcoin alone. You got to look at it both sides, right? Like maybe that's something that could happen, or maybe it all just turbos, right? That's the other thing. We can go past this window dimes referencing if Jerome keeps the party going. Right? People really care about the worldwide liquidity markets, right? People heavily care what the hell Jerome says. Trump even called him in today and told him, you're not cutting. I need you to cut. You're being dumb, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Moving on to meme coins, right? Because that's what you didn't see that coming, did you? Did you see the Myriad transition after stock to flow? I don't think you did. I didn't. I forgot about it. I queued up all these like 10 gigabytes of RAM worth of Chrome tabs a few hours ago. But shout out Murad. Shout out Murad. He's a cool dude. Talk about conviction. The one thing I will say, meme coins are rebounding right now, like the really obscure ones. The SPX 6900 is pushing. And are we going to go into an altcoin market where all these stuff keeps pushing? I don't know. But the FTX degens get cash on May 30th. Tomorrow. So in less than 12 hours, $5 billion in stables is coming to the market. And a lot of those FTX people really like Murad. Maybe they go straight Bitcoin. Maybe they exit forever. Maybe they don't. But if you've noticed, a lot of these new gen meme coins have been pumping pretty damn hard. So shout out Murad. Let's say hi to Murad real quick. Let me see which one. Covering this stream live right now. Saying hi. Much love. FTX money on the go. Maybe it all goes to alts. Because dude, Bitcoin's what's crushing it. Nobody wants to talk Bitcoin charts. Everybody wants to talk alt charts. My Solana charts on YouTube get way more clicks than the Bitcoin. So what up? Yeah, Murad, but dude, Nexus, Murad is about that life. You are not going to get an SPX 6900, PopCat, Fartcoin Maxi dudes that are normal. I'm all about it. He lives that meme coin life. He puts his money where his mouth is, and he tells you where his money is. He doesn't tell you he's not one of those dudes that like, oh, I got paid to promote this. I'm going to rip and dip. But dude, Fartcoin doing way better than Ethereum right now, and Litecoin and XRP. So even what's his name, the gold bug dude mentioned Fartcoin. So we've seen massive down draws across the board and recoveries, but it's in the new school meme coins, right? It's weird. It really is. But you want volatility. I'm gonna say it right now. Let me turn some of this off. Pop. And I'm going to turn pivots off. And wheel prints. Fartcoin tends to roll over on pink candles. And reset. I'm not saying you should become a swing trading Fartcoin guy, but I will say this. Because sometimes this bad boy falls down 80%. There are rhymes to the Fartcoin whales, and you're starting to see it now. You are. And the thing is when your whales become repeatable, that's when your profitability goes way up. Because it doesn't matter if you can trade Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if you can trade EOS. Forget what the ticker is. Look at your chart, figure out what your whales are doing. I love to death Zcash whales. They do the same damn thing over and over again. I don't care what the ticker is. I have a really high probability that I can enter a Zcash long and it goes up. Your Fartcoin whales are starting to show you really simple trends here. They're telling you, broadcasting, what their maximum and minimum strengths are. These are starting to become your like maximum bull runs. They're typically topping out in the reversion bands now because this coin is becoming less volatile over time. It's becoming larger market cap and it's getting more options, right? Coins are way more volatile here when they're only on like you're trading them on non-centralized or dexes, right? When they start actually getting on the centralized coins, you see less volatility. The centralized exchanges, you start to see less volatility. But you're starting to see repeated volatility. So take note. I'm not a Farcoin trader, dude, but dude, the volatility is bang, 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 bang. You're starting to see patterns. When you see patterns, that's when you win. Another one's Popcat. Popcat is now resetting. But Popcat was gaining, kind of got on Coinbase, and now it's kind of fading. I want to see the meme coins play out, because if meme coins play out, I'm going to get my Popcat run back, and I want my Popcat to run. But I promised we would look at Telcoin for our buddy. I think it's that one. It's just Tel. I don't ever look at this chart. I'm sorry. I don't think it's on Kraken. Shout out Jesse. Oof. I don't like this. The reason I don't like this, it's below that order block. And you've lost major support here, bro. And it very well may bounce out of this, but I don't want to necessarily, because if this was like Litecoin, I know Litecoin bounces. It's an asset that's not going away. Telcoin may be something that disappears and becomes vaporware in 10 years. No one trades it, right? Albeit most of crypto's like that, but wait till it gets back in here and tries to recover and break like 48. That's what I would look for, personally. So moving on. So this was weird, and I still don't know. Oh boy, I don't know the story behind this. I'm assuming it's Barron Trump, but I just don't know. The court initially struck down Trump's tariff. And he posted this. He's on a mission from God. On the bottom left, there's a freaking Pepe. Right there. And I don't know. Maybe this is the next World Liberty financial investment. But like this might go to the Supreme Court cases, and the clapback is a Pepe photo. I don't know where we're at. This is what I'm telling you. The markets want guidance. The markets want predictability. Trump posting Pepe's because he's pissed is a weird one. And what was funny is like, it actually kind of pumped. That was when he dropped that tweet. And people were like, are we longing Pepe? Like, is this, forget the Trump ticker. Are we longing Pepe now? I don't know. I'm not, this looks like a Bart to me. I don't want to mess with this. It's a standard hairline Bart, and it's trying to break down. Bart 101, I've covered it a million times with Rainbow Theory. And then it makes like the Bart Simpson character. If you're not from a place that airs Bart Simpson, go look it up. It's a really distinct trading pattern. If you don't know what this happens, what these do, whales move price up. They liquidate all the shorts. They get into position, and then they move the market back down to liquidate all the bulls. It kills the bears, and then it kills the bulls. It's very nasty. And I swear no one can trade Barts without like Rainbow Theory. I know like one or two other people that can do it, but they're experts. Like I say one or two. It's really only Discount Gosling, kind of the only other one that can spot these. But like a lot of the Rainbow Trends tools, I had to flat out develop this over like 8 months before I could start trading these. So just chill out, because once this is like these are easier than channel walks to me, in my opinion, because everyone longs this shit, but it's really hedge this and wait. Because if these invalidate, man, they don't invalidate a lot. The odds are this thing comes back down and retraces, because it left so many people in the dust here That's the odd. But when the odds are broken, my God, do they rip. Go look back at the old SHIB run charts and you'll see it. Later, Sean. Another thing that was kind of weird, I do a lot of trading of render, automated trading. Call it what you want, bot trading or whatever. So apparently Helium, Render, and Ribbon are no longer going to be offered on Coinbase. Considering the trash that Coinbase lists, I wonder what caused this. I don't know. They've changed the ticker from RENDR to RNDR, all this other crap. But it's nuked price a little bit. It's kind of interesting because this was actually starting to recover and actually starting to look really good. And maybe we were going to get another AI altcoin run. It's kind of what it was looking at, right? That's kind of a Mally sweep. Shout out Mally. But now it's not looking so good. And if you saw the alerts earlier, my bot was longing. So we'll see. I kind of let the bots do their own thing. I don't really interfere. But that was a nasty 1 hour candle we got right before this stream started. The counter trend to this, what have I seen that counter trends everything that we've been talking about so far? Hype's been running like crazy. Hype broke $30 and then it started pulling back. Lo and behold, now we're finding out that Hype is going to be listed on Coinbase. Shocker. Somebody knew it was coming to Coinbase and loaded up on it. Wow. That's convenient. They must have been lucky. Totally not insiders. Totally not. It looks like insiders. It really does. I take it back. It hit $40, not $30. So Hype has been on a crazy run in general for a while. It's a product that a lot of people like. It's a product that's making a lot of people rich. You add those together, you get kind of a bull runs. I don't make up the rules. You have a full recovery back up, and now we're into price discovery. But Coinbase listings typically aren't the bullish things. What's up, Pepe? That's my dude, Pepe Cinco, my Aussie. Now it's retracing. Now it's like I don't want to touch this thing. There's no. It's below the HMA. We printed our rainbow prints. I want to retest down here or bounce off support. When I say retest down here, I want to touch this band or I want to touch these pivots. So we'll see. But with that being said, I'm going to head over to the Discord, the Rainbow Trends Discord. If you guys don't know how to get to there, it's always at the top of the website. Click the link at the top. We're going to go hang out from there. I'm going to turn the stream off, and I'm going to open it up to Q&A. We're going to go talk charts, Toyotas, whales, you name it, surfing, and we're going to hang out there. That's where the real alpha is. And we can talk a little more freely, and everyone else can have the opportunity to open mic other than me because I've been talking for like an hour and a half. But much love. Thank you, guys. Please blow up the chat. Click like, subscribe. It helps us out so much on YouTube. We've hit 450 subscribers, which is awesome. We were like 200 at the beginning of the year, so we've been like grinding really, really hard. So much love because we're trying to grow that, and it's so hard to not do the clickbait crap and grow. But anyway, thanks a bunch, guys. I will talk to you guys later. If you can't hit us up on the Discord, shoot me a DM if you have any questions. I answer all my DMs, unless you get buried in the hundreds of spam messages in Twitter, or hit me up on Discord. It works either way.